All right, I'd like to address the 4-year-olds. 4-year-olds, I mean, listen up, man. I'm really old. I have a beard. You're not gonna have a beard for like a million years, so you know what I'm saying is the truth. It's about you falling down. I would like to say stop it, but the thing is, occasionally you're gonna trip your whole life. It's the reason why you trip and then what you do when you do trip, 4-year-olds. It really bothers me about you. First off, why you trip. You're kind of walking like you got flippers on your feet rather than really expensive shoes that are only going to last you like 3 months, and then your mom and dad are going to have to buy more expensive shoes. They're like this big. You know, you really should just have your feet wrapped in leather until your feet get to be about size 10 or 11. Then you get shoes when your feet are bigger than my hand. So yeah, you're kind of flipping you're like walking along like you got flippers. You're dragging the front of your feet. Probably also, here's the thing, 4-year-olds, I'm going to cut you a little slack, because maybe what your parents are thinking is like, I'm going to buy your shoes just a little bit bigger than they should be, just so I don't have to buy them so often. Oh, I hadn't really thought of that. Man, what if it's your parents' fault? 4-year-olds, be prepared to blame your parents for a lot of stuff that's happened to you right now. Alright, but anyway, you're still not picking your feet up. You go walk like a fancy horse. Pick those feet up. Don't drag your toes across the ground, because that's what makes you fall. Alright, well then you fall. And you do this weird thing where you fall straight onto your knees and onto your hands, except you kind of curl your hands in like claws. And I don't know what that's about at all. Really, you should be dropping down onto your forearms and the outside edge of your hand and turn your head to the side so you don't bang your chin or your forehead or anything like that. Turn your head to the side, slap your hands down, kind of go down like a plank. Don't drop down straight onto your knees and your hands. Because you know why? I think you do know why. It's going to make you cry. When you fall down on your knees and your hands the way you do, it's incredibly painful and it makes you cry. I mean, if I felt like that, I'd cry too. Here's the other thing. Ooh. A lot of these times, when you're falling down, it's at the grocery store or the library or at school, and you're crying and everyone's watching you. It's not cool, man. It's like you're acting like a 2-year-old, and you're 4 now. That's like twice as much. So if you do fall down, just kind of grit your teeth, get up, take a moment, man. Just take a moment, brush off your knees first, check them out, see if they're bleeding, then brush off your hands, check them out if you're bleeding, and if you're bleeding, say, I need to go to the first aid kit, please. Would you help me? And then really calmly and stoically, like a young cowboy or cowgirl, saunter by picking your feet up. Oh man, this is cold. To the nurse's office or the office or wherever they keep the first aid kit. But don't be crying. You know, and if your mom's there, do not get eye contact with your mom. It'll make you cry. Like if you're being all stoic about it, and stoic's like being tough, like a 6-year-old. If you're being all 6-year-old about it, don't look at your mom. Because A, it'll make you cry, and B, frankly, now that I'm thinking about it, it's probably her fault. Your shoes are probably too big. If you look at her and she looks at you, or she comes around and says, honey, you okay? And she turns you and you're facing her, and you think you might cry, try to stall that off by saying something like, Mom, are these shoes the proper size? And if she says yes, you're like, so if I checked with somebody, they're going to agree with you? And if she hesitates, I don't know. I said just don't forget about it. Write that stuff down. And you're like, write that down in crayon and put that away for later. Because your mom's probably going to owe you one. And next time you go buy shoes, it's okay to talk to adults. Say, excuse me, sir or ma'am. Are my parents buying me the correct size shoes for my feet? And if anyone says they'll grow into them, you'll grow into them, say, nuh-uh. Kids, I know you 4-year-olds are good at saying no. Just go, nuh-uh. I'll take the shoes that fit my feet, thank you very much, sir, or ma'am. All right, 4-year-olds, pick up your feet, though, for the first, I mean, most importantly, just step like a fancy horse. You're embarrassing me. You're acting like a 2-year-old. Pick your feet up.